Chris Ruffalo, Brian Bitler, Big Al McMorty, and Al Ninos. It is Saturday, August the 6th, 2022. Man, August is moving. We've got NFL football on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? So next Saturday, we'll be talking NFL football in here. Thursday, preseason, game 1 for a lot of teams. We're just talking about YouTube and stuff like that behind the scenes. Why I hate some of the other channels. Which, all of them, right? All of them. Everyone knows that. I'm never like, wow, I really think some of the other guys out there are doing a great job. I never say that, do I? I give zero credit. It's okay. Ruffalo, it's happening.
It's just one giant kumbaya in the green room before we come on the air. But no, you know, it's what I show up every morning for. But now today's a great day. Lots of baseball action. Ready for college football to get back underway, and like you said, the NFL preseason only a few days away. So you're starting to get that feeling, that little excited bug, and happy to have football back.
All right, Brian. So you had a homework assignment. You were going to talk to your friend who was on Breaking Amish or whatever it was called. What's the deal with the buttons and the elastic and the chickens? What's the deal?
I wasn't able to see. You don't want to hear it, but I wasn't able to get a hold of her because she's been working third shift making
she's
donuts.
Not allowed to use the phone because she's going back to the other side.
No. She's totally Americanized now. You know, she has a cell phone and all that other stuff. But I don't.
She wasn't allowed to use electricity to charge her phone.
I texted her and I didn't hear back, so maybe she's either ghosting me or she was just.
All right, so where we left off, though, is that you're not allowed to have buttons or zippers. Buttons are frowned upon. Zippers are non-admissible. Elastic is okay. And the chickens, they can't drive cars. Neither can the people. The chickens can be shunned by the Amish and by the chicken population as well. So we need to get these straightened out. Driving the buggy, the Amish chicken. Interesting.
Never heard the Weird Al song, Mitch?
No. Oh yeah, living in Amish paradise. Isn't it Gangsta Paradise? It's Amish.
Yeah. He breaks it down pretty well.
He does.
What they're allowed and not allowed to do.
Really, we'll have to review it, take notes. We won't be allowed to play the song on the air, but we could probably review it, take notes, and break it down for our audience because we know a lot of people cared. I don't know. The Amish chicken is the one that really just confuses me. What is the difference between the Amish chicken, Brian? This is what I need to know.
I have no clue.
So the chicken can the chicken be transported by car? The Amish chicken?
I assume so.
Well, doesn't that break the Amish shunned?
Oh.
Shunned.
The chicken would get shunned probably.
Yes.
But the Amish people actually do ride in cars, but they have like that girl that I talked to. She drives them around like a taxi cab. You know,
so they're not allowed to push the pedal.
They can't drive, but they can get into a car.
Oh, that's a game changer. Well, you know what they need? You know what we should do? We should do like a raffle or what do you call it? GoFundMe for a Amish tour bus.
They got the right idea. I don't like to drive either. I wish I had a driver drive. So.
Amish tour bus. Big Al, what's happening?
Not much. Just same old story, different day. Just working.
It's like, how in the hell did I get on a show where they're talking about an Amish chicken tour bus?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Well, because I got new patio, so I'm getting new patio furniture. I had to order it, right? And I ordered it from the Amish. And the Amish, what they're doing is they're taking milk cartons and recycling the milk cartons, the plastic milk cartons, and they're turning it into that have you seen like the latest patio furniture? It's all like kind of like decking and docks, where it's kind of like this plastic sort of material that they're making the chairs, and they're all different colors and wood tones and pretty much everything. It looks like natural wood, the wood ones, and the colors are fun and exciting. And then so the Amish make these. So I ordered some of this Amish furniture, and then I just we digressed from there. We just had nothing else to talk about. We had like a 10-game schedule, a bunch of big odds games. So just the whole thing went to crap. The show actually got a lot worse than that, but that was pretty much the highlight of the show. It was really a bad one. It was almost not as it was. I think our change of letter show was good, but but that one was bad. We did words where you can change one letter to totally change the meaning, kind of the Jeopardy category. So our word was slot. Yeah, got ugly in a hurry. Wasn't just blot or.
No, I know what word.
No, yeah, it wasn't just those. It wasn't slob. There's a bunch of them we had.
Do you play Wordle?
No, I don't know. What is Wordle?
We can talk after the show. I'm surprised you don't know it. It's just a game. The New York Times bought it about a year ago or whatever, and you have to solve the puzzle in 6 guesses, 5-letter words.
I actually can do the New York Times crossword puzzle on a lot of days. I wouldn't say I used to be able to do it on most days, but but now I could probably do it on a lot of days, usually earlier in the weekdays.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you should do Wordle. Then one that's even a little bit more interesting is Quarterle, where you've got 4 puzzles to solve in 9 guesses. Wordle's very easy.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Probably have an app.
It's basically like, I don't know. Did you ever watch Lingo, like that show on the Game Show Network?
No, but I played Slingo on AOL back in the day.
Nah. I like that game a lot.
Slingo requires the full requires the full 30 seconds allotted to play Slingo. I was like always one of those people. It's like, hurry up! They're all like, hurry up! I'm like, Slingo requires the full 30 seconds allotted. El Niños, what's happening?
Going pretty good here. Excited about today's card. I think there's lots of great games, man. A lot of action. It was definitely a few plays I could have added as a premium that can't look forward to sharing with everyone watching the show. So
awesome.
Excited.
My dog is recovering. Sam is back, and he's not back to 100%, but he's certainly back better than he's been. Jovan, how's it going?
Everything's going over here. They just passed the sports betting bill on Monday. So they're gonna take time to figure out who's gonna do what. But yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I read that they have 9 sports books they'll have in Massachusetts. They said.
Hey, I don't know the particulars, but it'll be enough to start putting in these legitimate bets now. So.
Yeah, I think what you start to see in a lot of states, in the sports betting is, all the surrounding states have it, so there's nothing they can do. It's either giving away all those tax dollars that are crossing.
Right.
I think the tax rates on it, and like when they talk about tax rates and sports betting, it's not tax rates on the user of sports betting. The tax rates are on the operators of sports betting. Is the way that works.
In this particular state, they passed it in, I think, 2016 for the state, at least. I'm something like that. I'm not, but it was one of the first states to actually vote on it and pass it. But, a lot of jockeying for control and which bill was going to get passed and whether college sports were going to be bet on or not, just all of that stuff. It took a while, but hey, we're here now, so.
Yeah, I went to college in Boston, and I used to spend a lot of time at the dog track there, at Wonderland.
Wonderland, yeah, the Wonderland, yeah.
And also, I was not. I would also go out to Raynham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, double dip. They don't do most. I think dog racing is illegal almost everywhere now.
Yeah, I think they got that out the way slowly but surely, but yeah.
Anyways, we got tons of games going on today, and a lot of meaningful series this weekend. So, some good baseball. So we have some big odds out there in some of these, and we have some not so big odds out there and some playable stuff. And let's get right into it. Got the Mets taking on the Braves, game 1 of a doubleheader. David Peterson's got a paying gig. He's up against Jake Odorizzi, who somehow had trade value, which is pretty amazing. Drew Smyly on the mound for the Cubs. This guy is, if there's anything that's going to help the Marlins bats, it could be him. The thing is that Pablo Lopez, last time he was out, was tipping his pitches against the Mets. He got absolutely clubbed. It was the worst outing of his career. Has he fixed that? So the Marlins pitchers throughout time, they're really good pitchers, have had games like Lopez had last time out where he got absolutely clubbed. And usually it's because they're tipping their pitches. Remember, Alcantara had that in L.A. I think it was last year. He got hit by the Dodgers for about 8 runs in the first inning. And so what happened that last game against the Mets is Francisco Lindor, after he came around and scored, he went around to the guy in the on-deck circle and said something. And he went also into the dugout and was talking to everybody. And normally when that happens, that means he saw something. And Lopez had the worst outing of his career. He got absolutely crushed. So it's just a matter of, did he fix this? Did he figure out what it was? Did he fix it and all that stuff? Because we know Lopez is a really good pitcher. Anyway, speaking of great pitchers, Berea on the mound for the Angels. Not Berea. It will be Berea. Up against Jorge Kirby. George Kirby. Jorge, as Chris likes to call him. In game 1. What are you saying, Al? No,
I was seeing mixed reports on that starter for the Mariners, but yeah, it does look like it is Kirby. I was seeing Flexen somewhere, but
Flexen's in game 2.
Yeah, somewhere I had it messed up.
All right,
Sorry about that.
Ruffalo, what do you think? You got 3. Actually, it's a kind of a nice schedule today. This is kind of like, this to me is as good as scheduling as you get. You got the staggered starts. It's kind of like NCAA tournament, that first Saturday, where they kind of stagger the starts, right? Nice.
Yeah. What do you have? The first 4 games and then a loaded evening.
There's the first game, and then the second game, they kind of ease into it, and then kind of like, right? And then by the time you get to night, then you have several games going at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely decide. I think it should be on a Saturday, not those days where you have maybe 1 or 2 in the afternoon, then a front-loaded evening schedule or vice versa. But I am going to go with the Miami Marlins here. I think I'm going to assume that Pablo Lopez fixed whatever he had to. And even if he didn't, for me, the Cubs aren't the kind of team that are going to take advantage of days, at least not enough to make up for the shortcomings of whatever Drew Smyly's going to put out here. I think it's just a good bounce back spot for the Marlins, and I'm just not up to laying any sort of juice with the Chicago Cubs. So give me the Miami Marlins in this one.
These are professional hitters. Believe me, they all can play. If you can make the major league roster, you can hit a baseball. Brian, what do you think of these?
Well, out of this grouping, I agree with Chris. I think for me, the best play in this grouping is the Miami Marlins here on the money line. Pablo Lopez did have a bad start, but I think he doesn't tip his pitches in this one. And Smyly, I think if the Marlins bats are going to wake up, I think they can get to him. At this number, it's pretty light. You're almost laying no juice with Lopez. I'll take the Marlins.
Lopez recorded 8 outs in that game, 12 hits, 6 runs, all earned on 71 pitches. 1 strikeout. Whew. Very un-Lopez-like performance. Al? Big Al.
Got to turn on my microphone. I mean, how do I pass up the Mets in this situation? In a near pick'em game, you take a look at David Peterson's daytime nighttime splits: 1.69 ERA in the daytime, 4.60 at night. He's done well as a starter this season compared to out of the pen. 4-2 as a starter with a 3.43 ERA. Mets, of course, have been virtually automatic this season off a straight up loss, 28-10. They're red hot, 9-2 their last 11. Got a nice pitching matchup here. I'm going to take Peterson. I'm going to take the Mets.
Al Ninos.
Yeah, probably would preferred going up against Flexen, but I think we still getting plenty of value here on the Angels. Yeah, Berea, not the greatest starter, but again, plenty of value I think on the Angels. So I'll take a shot on the Angels on the money line here.
It's been a while since Berea's got the start. Jovan, what's up?
Yeah, I'm on the Braves Mets over. I just think it's gonna be a lot of runs in this one. Wind's blowing out to left center. Both of these lineups, they're hitting the ball. As you can see, the first two of these games went over. So I believe that it's gonna continue to go that way. So over it is.
Ruffalo, you think that Citi Field or Petco Park better concessions?
I mean, we talked about what the multitude of options you have at Petco Park. I gotta see what Citi Field's rocking.
Two different sushi bars at Petco.
Hold me back.
The original, I think Citi Field was the first to have a steak and shake, or not steak and shake. What do you call it? Shake Shack. Shake Shack. First to have a Shake Shack. I don't know. Probably pretty good. I'll tell you what. It'd probably be a tough month tough to leave either stadium. I think it'd take me a full month to get through those concessions. Should I do my batting helmet tour round 2? Could do it. My ice cream helmet. I'm the
update tour.
The update tour. I do need some updates. What did we have? Old ones. Let's see.
Okay, never mind. Citi Field already wins. First restaurant I saw the pizza cupcake.
Oh yeah, that's from Shark Tank. So yeah, I definitely need to update some of my ice cream helmets. We could do the ice cream helmet baseball tour. That would be fun. Maybe next summer we should do that. Take 2 months and just hit all the stadium snack bars. Probably wouldn't take us that long either. We could probably do it in a month.
Just meet somewhere, rent a car. And
I think like a slow month, like August or something. Football stadiums don't quite have the concessions that the baseball stadiums have. They don't. They just seem to be way overpriced. The concessions, at the football stadiums. The baseball stadiums, they're way overpriced, but still less than football. Austin Voth's got a day job with the Orioles. 5:05 Eastern time start. The Orioles 11 runners left in scoring position last night against the Pirates. On Mullins' bobblehead night up against JT Brubaker. We got Rangers Suarez up against Patrick Corbin. And Garrett Hill against Shea McClanahan, who after Romanelli went to the mat for him last weekend, he got absolutely bludgeoned in that start. We'll see what happens again today. I'm going to guess it's going to be more of the same. Pretty much the curse of the all-star starter. Chris, what do you think of these three?
Yeah, my favorite out of these three has to be that over 9 between the Phillies and Nationals. Rangers Suarez a 4.84 ERA at home this season, almost double his road ERA, and obviously a big difference, 6-1 road record and 1-4 home record. So he's struggling at Citizens Bank. But Patrick Corbin has been one of our favorite pitchers to bash this season, or especially mine particularly. And I think this is just a game that's going to have a ton of runs. We saw a bunch of homers from the Phillies last night. Wouldn't surprise me if we saw him again here. I'm going to go with the over 9 Phillies-Nationals.
Brian?
Yeah, I really like this slot of games, but if I had to pick just one, it'd probably be the Pirates plus 1.5. Orioles got the W yesterday. I believe they get the W today, but Brubaker before his last start had 8 strong starts in a row. I think this is a one-run game. Either way you slice it, so I'm going to take Pittsburgh plus 1.5.
Kramer was off the chain last night. I mean, that was the best performance of his career, easily. Big out.
Was that 2-1 or 1-0?
1-0.
I forget.
1-0. He mowed him down. Kramer was off. Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, it's funny. As I was looking at these games, I was thinking about Ron's comments, in the conversation last weekend, Shane McClanahan. So, I mean, how do I pass up Shane McClanahan off his worst start of the season?
Well,
4 1/3 innings pitched.
You lay the reverse
runs.
run line? I don't know.
No, I mean, I think he bounces back. I mean, he's still been awesome this year. 2.07 ERA on the road, 1.62.
So was Taijuan Walker the first half. Oh man,
hey,
that was.
But look at who he's matched up against. You've got Garrett Hill, 16 runs over his last 20 innings, a 7.20 ERA. Tigers lost each of those last 4 games. After they won his first start, he pitched fine. He's been horrible his last 4 starts. So I'll take McClanahan to bounce back against Detroit.
El Niños.
A couple I like in this slot. I had the Pirates yesterday. Yeah, it sucked they couldn't get anything going, but I still think they got plenty of value. Of course, Baltimore's a great team. Whatever, they're having a great season.
4 games over 500, ahead of the Red Sox in the wild card race here. Just a game and a half out.
Relatively speaking, having a great season by Orioles standards, I guess. But
20 and 7 in their last 27. I mean, they're on a heater. That's that's 75%.
But again, I just don't want to.
Not quite the 84% that we had on yesterday's show.
I backed them in a couple of spots, but I just think they're just laying a bit too much juice right now, and I think the value is against them because as well as they've played, I still think they're a team that can be beat. So I'll take a shot here with the Pirates and. Honorable mention to the Phillies on the run line here. I think they win big tonight.
Yeah, I think they win so big that I'm gonna take it -2.5, -2.5 in this one. Patrick Corbin, that's one of my favorite pastimes. Fading him, so it's always a good thing. Going into it at least. He has a 13.50 ERA in his last 3. Overall, so a 6+ ERA. So going up against the Phillies ball club that in their last 10 games. Hitting 276 against lefties, so I'm gonna run with that.
I'm gonna take the Tigers here, up, down, and sideways. I like them first 5 innings. I like them reverse run line. I like team total over. I like everything about them. The Tigers 5 games under 500 at home. The Rays 4 games under 500 on the road. I don't know. Well, anyways, Chris, what are you selling today?
For me, I got my $15 pick-off play. We hit a bit of a speed bump yesterday. We're going to bounce back today, get right back on track. I also got my Saturday Slam MLB 3-pack. The $15 pick-off play not included in that 3-pack, so 4 plays for me in total today at PickDawgz Premium. Remember, use that code OG15, all lowercase, all one word, 15% off your purchase at PickDawgz.
Brian?
Cash my best bet with the Titanium, but overall 1 and 2 as the Rockies choked one away late to the Diamondbacks. But I got my best bet, my Titanium. Make sure you check it out over at PickDawgz or get my 3-pack, my Square Dancing Saturday 3-pack, just $50.
Big Al.
Oh, I've got one play today. It's my American League game of the month for August. We cashed yesterday with the Milwaukee Brewers, now 19-7 our last 26. And if folks enjoyed my interleague game of the year last weekend, then they'll love this play. Another strong play. It goes in the American League on Saturday.
El Niños.
Got 3-pack, and then I got my best bet sold separately, and of course I got a couple extra plays for everyone the long-term passes.
Joran?
Yeah, I also have a 3-pack and also have those 3 plays sold separately. led by the Laser Show. So, go ahead and check it out.
I got my big play, but I'm going to add some more. I got tons of other picks today. I really like today's card, so I'm going to hammer it. Anyways, let's get back to some more free picks. We've got appreciate everyone who's tuned in. If you guys can smash that like button, appreciate it. We got almost 350 people. Got NFL shows coming up, and it's like, I love seeing those quad digits of people watching. It's always cool, right? And I always get like, people are always like, oh, you guys look like you're sleeping. It's like, well, smash the like button and tell your friends. It's like, when we get those thousands going for the NFL shows, I'm thinking about for the NFL shows, and it's kind of up to the guys. We'll probably talk about it and figure out, maybe go back to the other format, give everybody a chance, to kind of have their own thing for NFL. Because generally during NFL, we have more people that are on the show, and also especially the college show. I mean, there's just a lot of games, so going through it like this would take more than 2 hours, especially with all the time that we waste. Someone talks too much. Got the Guardians and the Astros. Guardians 2 games behind the Twinkies, tied now with the White Sox in the standings in the Central. Got the Rangers against those same White Sox we were just talking about, just 2 games behind the Twins in the Central, up against the Texas Rangers, who basically abandoned ship this season, just like the Giants did, and they're up against the A's, Adam Oller. Giants lose with Rodon and Webb up against the A's the next 2 days. Man, it's pretty much waving the white flag. They're 7 back in the wild card, but the issue they have is that they got a lot of traffic in front of them too. Chris?
The one I liked out of these 3, I'm going to go with the under between the White Sox and Rangers. You're seeing Michael Kopech, you look at his last 4 starts, he's allowed no more than 2 runs in each of those. And while Dane Dunning hasn't been anything special for the Texas Rangers this season, he has been better at home. And I think, just in a pitcher's ballpark like Globe Life, I think it's going to just be a low-scoring game. I expect the ball to stay in the yard for the most part. And this game means a lot to the Chicago White Sox as well, so I expect them to put their best foot forward here as well. But I think my stronger play in that one is the under 8. I think it's a 3-2 game.
Brian?
This is an enticing slot here. I think if I had to go with just one game, it'd probably be the Cleveland Guardians at home, 27-22 on the year. And like Mitch talked about, the White Sox right there in the race. I just think they're going to get a game in this series. It'll be against Garcia, who's hittable for the Guardians.
They've been beaten down in the first 2, so certainly haven't wasted any runs in games that they had no chance in, that's for sure. Big Al, what do you think?
I'm going to go against my good friend Brian here. I can't back Cleveland in this spot. They're horrible as a home underdog, 1944, minus 19.6 net games. Luis Garcia, when installed as a road favorite, 13-6. Cal Quantrill as an underdog, he's been horrible in his career, 9-25. He actually does well when he's favored, 19-11 plus 5.2 net games, but as an underdog, he's down 14.4 on the money line. I'm going to take Houston as a road favorite.
Guardians 0-9 as home dogs against the West. Well, so
there you go.
Pile a little more onto that massive data working against Brian Bitler, but that's Bitler's comfy zone. Anyways, Al Ninos, what do you like here?
I'll go with the White Sox. Haven't been playing their best, but they got the job done last night, and I think they got a nice advantage here on the mound with Kopech. So I'll take the White Sox on the money line.
All right, Rangers 6-0 on the run line dogs versus the AL Central, so might be a tight one. Jovan?
Yeah, it was a tight one yesterday, and it burnt me. But I'm on the White Sox again, but this time just on the money line. Now's the time for them to get it in gear, because they want to make the postseason. There's really no other time. They can't just keep on waiting and alternating wins and losses. They've won 3 out of the last 4, but they need to put together a decent winning streak. So I'm just running on that. So I'll take the White Sox.
Yeah, I like the Astros as well. I think you run line them here. I think they absolutely smashed the Guardians. The Astros have one thing that they've done all season long is put the hammer down in series like this. 31-26 on the run line on the road. 70-38. Tough to believe that they have, they're half game behind the Yankees for best overall record in baseball. That's how well they've been playing. The Yankees 70-37 and the Astros 70-38. So it's one game in the loss column, even though it's a half game in the overall standings. And we know the Astros have just beaten the crap out of the Yankees this season, so they're probably just licking their chops, just waiting for the chance to pounce on them. And I just don't see the Guardians being the team, and Cal Quantrill, being the guy to step in front of the runaway train there. I just think it's a lousy spot for the Guardians. I think the Guardians are a good team, but I don't like them here. Only 24-25 on the run line at home. Got the Mets against the Braves, game 2. Mad Max against Mad Max here. Scherzer and Fried. This is a showcase game. This is where a manager really does matter, in games like this. And Buck Showalter, certainly not the guy I would pick to be in my corner, but that's the cards they're dealt. You got the Kansas City Royals and the Boston Red Sox, the home of the over. So the over was invented in the Red Sox Royal Series. And then you have the Twins and the Blue Jays. Yeah, the Blue Jays lost last night, but I think they're like 37-0 coming off a loss against the Twins in Minnesota or something ridiculous like that. Ruffalo, what do you got to say?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is another spot where you just comfortably back that Red Sox Royals over. Nathan Eovaldi, I think he had a decent start in his last appearance, but one start's not going to, change the fact that I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, especially Daniel Lynch on the other side. I think this game easily gets into double digits. I think it's a 6-5 kind of game at the very least. I think we get into 11, 12, maybe even 13 runs here. So give me the over.
Twins 6-0 to the Nerfy at home. Brian?
Yeah, it's another good grouping here. I like the Braves and Mets to go under 7 runs. I also like the Braves in game 2 on the money line. You got two fantastic pitchers, and I see this being a 2-1, 3-2 type of score. I think the Mets win game 1, but I think the Braves get them back here. Fried stronger as the season goes on. Scherzer always tough, so it should be a nice pitcher's duel today. Take the under, and then secondary, the Braves.
Big out.
I'm going to take the over in game 2 of the Mets and Braves. Neither pitcher has done especially well in their careers versus their respective opponent. Obviously they're great pitchers, but both of their career ERAs versus their opponent are in the 3s. So that's, I think it's going to be a higher scoring game than most people expect. And also the Mets have been an over team this season, and especially at night, 39-25 over the total at night. So I'm going to look for a surprisingly high scoring game in game 2.
El Niños.
Yeah, I feel a lot more comfortable backing the over in that Red Sox Royals game. I think that one goes. It's gonna be way higher scoring with 2 starters rather than that pitchers duel in the Mets Braves game. Hate to disagree with Big Al, but not that I have a play on that total, but I just prefer this one here in the Red Sox Royals game.
Jovan.
Yeah, I was going to give out the over in the Red Sox KC game, but I'll reverse course and give a first 5 with the Braves and Mets under. Just these 2 pitchers, they had a battle. It was a 4-1 contest. I believe it was last month. And I think these 2 go head to head and pitch a gem at least through the first 5. Can't really speak for the bullpens, but I think that you'll have a lower scoring game through the first 5. So I'll take the under.
I'm gonna pound the fade of Dylan Bundy today. I think this is the money train. Just stick out your suitcase and just stuff it with cash, because Minnesota Twins are the worst team following a win, and that's how you can't put teams away in the worst division in baseball, is that you can't string wins together. If you look at teams like the Houston Astros and the Yankees and everyone else that's leading the division out there, the Mets, and really everybody, they've been able to string wins together, but the Twins have struggled to do that. Just 6 games over 500 as division leaders, 4-6 in their last 10 games, and their last 5 as dogs following a win. They got run lined, so I think they get rung up here, and Dylan Bundy just the guy to get rung. I think the Jays go double digits in this thing on them.
Are you making fun of my guy Bundy? Because
no, it's not Bundy. This is just a pure fate of the Twins. I'm not as big. If you want to talk about starting pitchers, Al Ninos is your guy. I'm not a starting pitcher guy. I think starting pitchers go 5 innings, and it's like that's it.
Bundy's good at home, and we also sit, and that's a lot of confidence for Mitch White. I don't know. Blue Jays are bad on the road, to me. I don't know.
25-26 on the road, and probably
for that
of that 25-26, my guess is of that 25, that probably 16 of them are probably in their last 20 on the road. They went into Boston pretty recently on the road and put up 25 runs in one game. I think they scored 67 runs in the 3-game series or something ridiculous like that. So not as bad on the road recently as they have in the past. The Blue Jays have that odd advantage this season, in the home games, but in the road, it's they don't have. It's like they should have players that aren't. The other team should get to pick 2 players that don't get to play from the Blue Jays against them in the Blue Jays go on the road, right? Make it fair, but not the way it works in Major League Baseball. It'd be interesting to see what happens if the Blue Jays make the postseason. What those rules will be. Can you imagine being in say it's the Blue Jays Cardinals in the World Series, and which is a possibility, and Goldschmidt and Arenado can't play in the games in Toronto. What would happen?
That's a big problem.
It would be a big problem for baseball. It'd be a big problem for America.
We'll say this: since the Jays fired Charlie Montoya, I'm looking at right now, 13-5, and they've outscored teams 113-56
on the road, right?
Since July 13th.
Yeah.
No, just in general. In general. Since they fired Charlie Montoya.
All right.
Well, I try not to disagree with you, Mitch, but
it's okay. You can disagree. Believe me, there's 2 sides to every game, except when we're not including props, first 5 totals. I'll just take a pass.
You didn't take a pass today on a Saturday.
I could have taken a pass. It's a good card for a pass. We got 2 double headers, right? 17 games today? 17-game Major League Baseball card? I'll take a pass. I still want to be I want to be the world champion. Brewers and the Reds, Cardinals and the Yankees, Diamondbacks and the Rockies. I'll tell you, the Diamondbacks are playing respectable baseball right now, and the Cardinals are
dirty.
The Cardinals looking like the Cardinals last year, turning it on late in the season, unbeatable at home. All these, it's like, man, see if Jordan Montgomery can even win for him. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, the replay I like the best here. I'm going to go with the over 8 between the Reds and Brewers. Nick Lodolo does have a 10.29 ERA on the road this season. It's only 7 innings, but it's all we have really to go off of with him coming into this start in the Milwaukee Brewers. Coming off a big win last night. I think they can get to Lodolo here, but I also think the Cincinnati Reds are going to get to Aaron Ashby here. I think 8's just a far too low total. I think we get to 9-10 runs at the very least in this one, so give me the over 8. Reds and Brewers.
Cardinals and Brewers tied for first place in the National League Central at this point, and both of them tied with the Philadelphia Phillies for the 3rd spot in the wild card race in the National League. So a lot going on right now. Right?
Yesterday I liked the Brewers a lot, but today I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Reds plus 1.5 here. Nick Lodolo, two pretty strong starts in a row where went 6 innings, and Ashby's been okay at times, but this Brewers team just doesn't put a lot of back-to-back wins together lately. I think the Reds keep it close.
Big Out.
Well, I got the sun in my eyes here. As they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it or whatever. I went against Cincinnati the other day. I took the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm going to keep going against Cincinnati. Their offense just isn't scoring runs, I think now 5-21 if their offense has scored 3 runs or less in 3 straight games or more. So I'm going to take Milwaukee again.
18-31 on the road, but 25-24 on the run line, which is where Brian picked them. El Niños.
Yeah, this should be a pretty fun game to watch.
Which one?
And,
Which one is
I'm
this?
about to get there, Mitch.
Oh.
Don't want to give it away just yet.
Got me hanging on the edge. Got me hanging on the edge of my seat. This is like when someone else had 3 major announcements they were going to make. I didn't sleep for a week.
I bet I know which game he's going to pick. I'm
You know what? Oh, I thought you were going to say, I bet I know what the 3 major announcements are.
All right. I was thinking Yankees Cardinals pick.
Shit, no one to throw Brian a curveball, but yeah, he was right. I was gonna look at that game. Although I almost went with that Rockies game. There's a couple different ways you could bet that one, but I'll back to this interesting game though. Yeah, I think you can't really go wrong taking a shot with the Yankees here with even money. I mean, they opened the small favorites. Now they're even money, or you might find a little plus money on them. And
Begging
yes,
to take the Yankees.
yes, they are. Diego Herman, not the guy you want to be backing every day, but Montgomery hasn't been great himself, and I think that he'll be facing a lineup that he should be familiar with, but he's never had to face in the game. So I think they'll get to him too. So I think the Yankees have definitely a shot to win this game at even money. So I'll take the Yankees here.
Jovan?
Yeah, and I'll take the over in that game. Domingo Herman, 6.39 ERA. It's only a away game this year, 8.22 ERA. And Jordan Montgomery, they got the book on them. The Yankees got the book on them, so I think that they smash them. So I think both teams should be at 4 runs in the middle innings, as far as I'm concerned, and that's a over. So I'll run with that.
Cardinals 6 in a row at home. Busch Stadium. I don't know. I think the Yankees, it's the way they started the season, regression just is natural. I think now it's going to be interesting to see if the Astros put together a 110 win season here. I think it's very, very possible the way they're rolling. I don't think we've seen the best of them yet, which is crazy. I think that, sometimes when these teams, they do all these trades and everything, it's kind of like, man, it messes up the chemistry of the team and, in the locker room. The Yankees might have done that. Might have messed it up. Anyways, we've got 2 games left on the board, and that's the Dodgers and the Padres, who really look like they've messed up the chemistry in the locker room, but they got Tatis coming back to further mess with the chemistry. Mike Clevinger against Andrew Heaney, who's just found another gear here with a new pitch. And then the game that Al Niños has been waiting for, Chris Flexen makes it to the mound here for the late start against Reed Detmers and the Angels. Chris?
Yeah, they're game 2 of the doubleheader. I got to go with the Seattle Mariners here. I think at worst you get a split, but I personally think the Mariners are going to sweep this doubleheader. I just like what Chris Flexen's done. He's turned the season around after a really rough start to the year. And Reed Detmers is just a pitcher that the Angels really haven't been able to back for very much. They just have 1 win with Detmers on the mound going back to the middle of May. So I think this is just another spot where the Mariners could get a win in a winnable spot. So which in the AL West, I don't know how many there are going to be with the Astros leading the charge. So give me the Mariners in game 2.
Brian, so you're looking for a sweep?
I am.
For me in this spot, it should have been a premium, but I didn't have the balls to play it. I like the San Diego Padres here to bounce back. This team is put together to hang with the Dodgers, and they got their butts kicked yesterday. Andrew
They've
Heaney
gotten
usually
their
goes
butts
about.
kicked. They've gotten their butts kicked on back-to-back nights.
Heaney goes 4
slaughtered.
innings.
Well,
The
they
guy's throwing
14 to 3.
Heaney's thrown 23 innings, so he's he's not the next Sandy Koufax just yet. Mike Clevenger off 3 rock solid 6-7 inning performances. This guy's under the radar, top level talent. I think Clevenger gets it done for the Padres and they get the W here. Maybe it's wishful thinking because I hate the Dodgers, but
Big out.
I don't like either of these two games, but maybe rather than passing, I can go back to a previous game, and I'm going to take the Cardinals and go against the Yankees. Yankees 0-7, their last 7 on the road versus winning teams. So, could be trouble in paradise for the Yankees.
Aaron Judge for MVP. Al Ninos.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go against Chris Flexen here. I think there's values again on the Angels here, and not only that, but sorry, shoot, I had it right here. But Reed Detmer, sorry, he's been pitching well lately, and I think he does okay against these Mariners. So take another shot on the Angels.
Javon.
Padres, Dodgers under. Both of these pitchers have posted low ERAs, especially in the last 3 games on 1+ ERAs. And you go to the bullpens and it's more the same. Dodgers got to have a 1+ ERA, and the Padres, I believe, is like a 2.8 ERA in the last 10. So, I'm gonna run with the under. I think it's a lower scoring game.
I like Seattle to go for the sweep over the Angels. It's possible Berea makes a relief appearance in this game after starting the other game. Double Berea. Anyways.
I'm waiting for Ohtani to make an appearance in relief, too. That'd be interesting.
It could happen. Parlay time or props.
I'll do a combo of those two. I'll do a 3-player home run parlay. I'm using the best parlay tool at Sports Chat Place for this. I got Paul Goldschmidt to hit a home run, Ian Happ to hit a home run, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to hit a home run.
What's it pay?
Let me pull it up. Someone else wants to go in the meantime. I'll pull up the.
Go ahead, Brian.
Together.
for me, I got a sweet dog parlay here. The San Diego Padres money line, Texas Rangers money line, Cleveland Guardians money line.
Big out.
Oh, don't really like much of the games we discussed other than maybe the Mets in game one. So no parlay for me, just the Mets in game one.
How about you, Al Ninos?
I'll go Phillies, maybe Phillies -1, but I don't mind the money line on the parlay. I'll go White Sox, and I will go the over in the Red Sox-Royals game.
Jovan?
Braves, Mets over game 1. Red Sox, Royals over. Yankees, Cardinals over. Padres, Dodgers under. 4-teamer.
I'm going to go Giants, A's. Giants, A's under. Padres, Dodgers under. Marlins, Cubs under. Yankees, Cardinals under. $10 pays $164.83. This is Mitch for Chris Bryan, Big Al, Al Ninos, and Jovan. Thanks everyone for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. Next weekend, next Saturday at this time, we'll be talking NFL in the mix. Preseason, maybe a little recap of some of the games that took place, some of the injuries, trades falling out of favor. Some lot to talk about in the NFL. I see a lot of big cuts on the way.